Okay, let's talk about this current build I'm working on. This is a carbine kit that was specifically made for an airsoft gun. So there's lots and lots of airsoft STLs out there that you can find for your 3D printer, but there's hardly any gel blaster ones. A lot of the airsoft ones can be made to fit with some modifications. If you're really good at CAD, you could probably use measurements and do it in software, or you can do what I do, which is a lot of manual modifications, different cutting and sanding after I print things out. So this is going to look really cool here. Basically, we're going to take an ANSTOY Glock 18 and we're going to turn it into basic, a small long gun, I guess you would call it. So lots of printing here, takes a lot of time, but it's going to be really cool afterwards. So just going to go over what I've done so far. Going to keep the mechanics the same inside the gearbox. Only thing I'm going to do is get rid of the blowback because it wouldn't work with this setup. So had to take this, had to sand down the bottom and put on this piece of rail that I had printed, and then really just had to cut off that front end of the Glock there. So then this would just, fit on here. And I'm just going to kind of put it together so you can see what it looks like, even though it's not been painted or anything yet. So then you've got this big front piece, right? I might use this grip, I might not. So this is a place I needed to modify. I had to cut for the gel ball feeder, right? So where the hopper is going to attach. So I cut that out. I've glued it in. Obviously, that'll get cleaned up and painted. And yeah, I just glued it in and left it in because that was going to be the easiest way to do it. So then this piece is going to go through here. And then you can see this is why I had to cut the bottom off of that. So it will slide forward basically all the way, right? So that's what's going on here. We're set up like so. So that's even kind of cool, just like that. If you wanted to have, just a small little handgun with a front grip, that would work like that. But this has a lot more pieces. So then we go to this piece, which can attach here. So this slides on here, screw it down. Then here's the back piece, which slides on here, slides forward, okay? And then lastly, you've got your little stock right here. So this is one of several versions of the stock that you can get. This is kind of the smaller version. So this would then slide in through here, okay? And then there's a spot here where you can go ahead and stick a bolt through, depending on how far you want that to stick out. All right, this was a little riser that they just had on the front that I thought was kind of cool and unique. I haven't used that in any of my other blasters yet, so hopefully my arm wasn't getting in the way there of the camera. But anyway, that's how it'll be set up. You go ahead and put on a 14 millimeter counterclockwise. That'll go through here, right? It'll stick like that out, and then you'll be able to go and put different attachments on. This is one that I have. This is actually an amplifier. It's supposed to make it louder, but I got a couple other options I'm going to print, and that way you'll be able to switch off the front. There also will be a different stock piece that I printed. I had to print a second piece because it was too long for my printer, and then that would go here instead. So this is just a little more robust, beefier stock that could go on the end. And then since I'm going to be joining two pieces together, I went ahead and sunk some screws in, and then with glue and screws and filler, it should look pretty good and it should be pretty strong. So that's my setup. I'm just calling it Glock 18 Carbine kit. This was called a mini something. I'll make sure to put that name in the title, and I will put a link to the STL in the description. However, guys, if you're looking, go to Thingiverse, just search whatever you want to find. It's very easy. It's like using Google. So you can just go to Thingiverse and search for different types of STLs. You'd be amazed what's out there. Use airsoft as one of the keywords, and then whatever you're looking for, and you'll find a lot of stuff, okay? Anyway, so this is it. Looks really cool. I like the little skull on there. I need to figure out how to get my logo onto some of these, so I'll have to try to experiment with some of the software. So check back. We're going to paint this all out, and then obviously we'll do some shooting with it.